So how can you create more magic moments in your career? I had this discussion today with one of my clients, and I wanted to share with you some of the breakthrough moments that we had together. So I have this client, she just started my program, and we got on our first call together, and she goes, Dahlia, I couldn't wait to tell you, but I started the program and already I've had a magic moment. And I said, what do you mean magic moment? And she went, well, because she's a real estate agent, and she said she's a real estate agent who wants to get into the humanitarian space and find her specialization that would enable her to go into different countries, travel, and do humanitarian work. So that's her goal. She's been trying to do that for like her whole life, focused more on it over the last, I think, 10 years or so. And she feels that there's a big block, it's not happening, she doesn't have the experience for it, etc., etc., etc. So anyway, she goes, I had this magic moment. I got a new client today. I was showing her property, and she mentioned that she works for the UN in the development sector, and that she would, be an excellent contact for me in this kind of work that I want to do. And it was such a serendipitous moment. And so we started discussing, like, what is it that creates these magic moments? And there is this weird thing that happens a lot of the time when people fully commit to their goal and they say, this is happening, I'm making this happen now. They join my program, and then you start to see these kind of weird things happen in a good way, and that just were not happening maybe for years on end. And I think a lot of that happens when you really decide, you make that decision, you commit to your goal, and then you start to find those kind of luck just starts to happen to you in some ways. However, what I told her, because to me it's very interesting, I have a lot of different types of people who I work with, and some of them are a lot more positive than others. I have people who sign up a bit in the spirit that she had, if this is happening, my whole life's been leading up to this, I've been thinking about this for so long, I deserve this, I need to make it happen, and I believe in myself. We have those people. But then, of course, I have people who are also like, you know what, I really want this, I need to make a change. But at the same time, there's a lot of cynicism still there. There's a lot of, will this really work for me? Do I really deserve this? Am I really that great at my job? I'm sure there's better people out there than me, and they want it, and they still get to their goal. The process works if you implement it. But when they don't have that, you could call it a mindset piece locked in, when they're still cynical about their goal, I have noticed that they rarely have those kinds of magic moments, and things are just more of a slog towards their goal. And the sad thing is that those are usually the people who are waiting for the magic moment. They're waiting for the magic thing to happen, or that magic pill that all of a sudden everything's going to just fall into place, and the universe is going to prove to them that now they're deserving and their goal is going to happen, and then they can start believing in themselves. But that doesn't usually happen. Usually it's this slower slog towards their goal, as opposed to the people who have really committed to themselves, they fully believe in themselves, and they just, you could call it more positive, they're being more positive minded. I don't really like the word positivity, because you also have that kind of, you have those overly optimistic people who just think, oh, it's fine, everything will work out, and it doesn't, like they don't want to admit what's not working. But I would say more of that, it's really productive thinking, that kind of thinking of like, my goal is happening, and to be able to connect to your higher self, to that part of you that really wants that dream life, that part of you who deserves the dream life, there's no doubt about it. Because there's also going to be that lower self that says, no, who do you think you are? This isn't possible for you. In her case, I'm sure she has that lower self that's telling her, you are a real estate agent. You've been working as a real estate agent for decades. Who are you to think anyone is going to suddenly want to hire you for a highly specialized position in the humanitarian field? That's just not possible. And you're comfortable here, and you're doing very well in your current job. Why would you give this up? That's the lower self trying to hold you back. Everyone has it, but some people are more in the habit of connecting to the higher self and taking decisions from their higher selves, versus other people who are more in the habit, because it is just a habit, of taking decisions from their lower self and thinking from their lower selves. So the higher self is still there. That's the part of them that wants more. That's the part of them that sees other people doing it and goes, well, you can do it too, right? And they have that higher self that also tells them that, but they're just more in the habit of listening to the lower self. And where do these habits get formed? Well, I think there are many ways they get formed, right? A lot is in childhood, upbringing, maybe messages you've received throughout your career, all these kinds of things. Anyway, with this particular client, she's been doing a lot of meditation work, a lot of that kind of spiritual journey work, you could say, a lot of like just connecting within, connecting to her higher self. And I think that's probably what has helped her to maintain that mindset and stay connected with that part of herself that is going for her dreams. And that is why she's almost attracting these magic career moments towards herself. So I'm saying this because it really is a pattern that I've noticed with the people I've worked with. So, you know, it's not so scientific that I have measured this or anything like that, but it is a bit scientific in the sense that I really have noticed this pattern in the people I've worked with. And I've worked with probably well over 100 people by now. So this is something to just keep in mind, that as you're going through the process of a career change, as you're going through the process of going for your goal, really make sure you're tuned in and you're connected to that higher self, whatever that feels like for you. Make sure you know what that feels like, first of all. Make sure you're staying connected to it, and don't wait for a magic moment to save you. Don't think that you're going to be cynical and then one day there's going to be a magical moment and then suddenly you won't be cynical anymore and you'll finally believe in yourself. You have to do the opposite. You have to believe in yourself first, and then those kind of magical career moments will happen. So that's all from my side. I hope that was helpful to you. Let me know below if you've ever had these kind of magical moments that seem to be given to you from your higher self, or however you want to phrase that. And I will see you on the next video.